You don't wanna never count yourself out, make it a great one. Just be sure to leave out the doubt. Time to wake up.
All right, so another CEO from our network writes this. My biggest regret is that I held on to the reins tightly, fearing loss of control. If I knew then what I know now. I think we all say that. When I finally relinquished control and entrusted our team, the transformation was nothing short of remarkable. I watched in awe as individuals stepped up, embraced challenges, and unleashed their creativity and passion. Most of my team was better than I ever expected or knew. My biggest regret is not letting go sooner, because now I look back and see how much we lost due to my actions. I mean, it's a success story, right? There is success in this.
Yeah.
The light is really shined on a few different areas. So where do we want to take this off from? What
That was a loaded statement.
I know. Where is it? I mean, what sticks out the most, or at least, a starting point?
Well, I think one of the things that I appreciate is looking forward, the looking forward in there.
Yeah.
You don't want to live in regret, right? You shouldn't live in regret, and you shouldn't live in the past. You want to live forward. And wisdom is something that comes with experience. And the hard thing about experience is it's what you get after you get it.
Right.
You don't get experience before you get it.
Right. It's experience driven. Yeah.
It's experience driven. And so you're learning, kudos to this leader that says, I'm not done learning.
Yeah.
Kudos to this leader that says, we have best days yet in front of us, and I'm going to be willing to take the risk and learn and practice something that's not natural to me maybe, or something I've not done before, because what we're doing now can't stay the same.
Yeah.
So let's try something new. And look at the payoff.
I think the could have at the end is kind of where, like, you felt, like you said, the days ahead, but the end is where I kind of was like, oh, I totally can relate to that, because now I look back and see how much we lost due to my actions. The regret piece. And I think there's just a lot there that we can resonate with, that there is regret. But like you said, looking days ahead. I want to bring something out that I think is worth really talking about. Fearing loss of control. Holding on to the reins too tight. I think that there are probably a lot of people who, if they watch this video and they hear those words right there, could relate to it.
Sure.
How many times have you heard the statement?
Is it wrong to say, how about we do this? This is what you find on the back of disinfectant bottles. It kills 99.9999%. Could we say that 99.999% of everybody experiences what you just read there?
Yeah.
We all have a fear of loss of control.
Yeah.
Don't we?
Well, what's the statement we hear? We hear this. I think when we're in organizations, I expect to hear this. I don't know if you agree with this. They just don't do it as good as I did. I mean, like, they think that at first, but over time, it becomes apparent that they can actually do parts of whatever that is. And a good one just to mention, like sales. You're in the position you are in because you were excellent at sales.
Yeah.
You rose with the organization, and you led the way. And now you look back and you're trying to figure out, can I pass off my best clients to the next person?
Right.
He or she, can they do what I did with this client that literally helped us level up in our organization?
So, let me ask you this. Is it really control that they're fear of losing, or do they think that control is what's keeping something else? So what do you think they're really fearful of by not having control?
That's interesting. That's a great question. I think there's just so many ways. Were you setting me up for saying something really cool here?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I just feel like you got
All right.
cool about to ooze out of you.
Yeah.
I'm ready for
Okay.
it.
I think there's lots of different ways that can go. And one of them for me is that they might fear it because they liked the praise. That's just one. I'm not saying that's for everyone.
Yeah.
But there's something inside of us that likes it when we get an attaboy.
Yeah.
Right? I love getting pat on the back. I mean, when my wife tells me good job, I'm like, yes, I did it. You know?
I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that there's maybe a piece of it is the praise piece. Like they like it because it points to them. And I'm not saying it's all selfish. It just feels good.
Yeah.
Natural human tendency.
Well, everybody wants to feel needed.
Yeah.
You want to feel valued. You want to feel needed. And so if you have something to contribute, if you nailed a piece, if there's something that you do well, then I want to continue to add that so that I'm a valuable asset here. Well, but there's got to be some other reasons of I don't want to lose control because
Yeah.
and is it about there's only one way to do it? And you think you found the one golden way, and
Man.
everybody like you've got the one way.
That's a piece of it probably, right? Like, I can't tell you how many times I've created processes for organizations. And, okay, I'm talking to the CEO right here. I'm telling you right now, even though we've created so many processes for organizations, helping them in their systems and processes, the person who took it from us and then built on it did better than what we originally did because they honed in on it. They did it. And it was like that was their baby. They took it and they made it better.
Yeah.
So I think that's like void. When you think like that, you have to fight against
Right.
that. Like nothing you do is going to be the absolute best forever.
Yeah.
Was Mike Tyson says like, there's always someone better, right? But then he always says, also has other things that he says. So maybe we won't go into that.
I didn't know what quote you were going to go with
Yeah.
Mike. Anyway, that was one of the things I'd like to maybe share is, so let's talk about mindset.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's a great place to start for sure.
yeah, when we talk about mindset, you talk about this. If it's true, I want to be valuable. I want to remain relevant and valuable
Yeah.
to my business,
Right.
or my organization, to my team.
Yep.
We could. I would also like to, for your consideration, for the listeners' consideration, when you begin to empower your team, you're empowering them to do something they couldn't do on their own, and so you become valuable in that way that you are bringing leadership out of others. You're multiplying yourself. You're empowering others' leadership, others' thought process, and they need you to do that. You're the one that gives the freedom in the room. So that's not a loss of control.
Right.
That's a multiplier factor that you're bringing in, and therefore your presence is elevated.
Yeah.
And the value of who you are gets elevated in your organization when you begin to distribute those opportunities to others.
Okay, so for those listening right now, empowering your team isn't losing freedom. It's multiplying freedom.
I love that.
Okay. Oh, I love that too, because honestly, it's a testament many times when we hear it that's the testimony that comes from CEOs who actually give it away and empower people to do what they know that their God-given skills and talents are for.
Yeah.
I wish I would have done this sooner because
Yeah.
we just grew. Maybe it wasn't revenue, but we grew. We can do more now
Right.
because we divided and conquered.
Tell them again. Tell them what happened when this leader did just that.
Yeah. When I finally relinquished control and entrusted our team, the transformation was nothing short of remarkable. I love the word remarkable. It's a great word, remarkable. I watched in awe as individuals stepped up, embraced challenges, and unleashed their creativity and passion. And
Wow.
I'm telling you, the passion piece kind of gets you a little excited.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, how many times do you go walking into your organization after you just get there? And I guess if you're working from home, totally get it. You get to just roll out of bed. But think about it, like when you have passion about what you do, what does that do for not only your work life, but your personal life?
Yeah. Right. Well, I was thinking the same thing where you are. As a leader, you have the most passion anyone's going to have in your organization.
Yeah.
It's your business, it's your service, it's your product. It's safe to say no one's going to be more passionate about it than you. But what if you want the best for your product or service? It's going to be limited by your capacity.
Yeah.
But if you could multiply that times 10, times 15, times 100, I don't know how many's in your organization, but if they could multiply that.
Yeah.
And the best way to care for their organizational growth and the profit of their product or service is to somehow instill and unleash. I love that word he used. Unleash that into your team. Now you have 100 of you.
Yeah.
You have 20 of you walking around with that passion, that creativity, that innovation, that leadership. Everybody begins to rise, and with it, your business.
All right, so you're going to have a sweet quote after what I say here. It's going to match right with it. I know you will.
I love it when you put me on the spot like that.
Yeah, you're welcome. What if, and I'm talking on behalf of people that we have worked with, I've done this before. I've relinquished control, like you said, this guy did, and it didn't work for me. And now I have the past pain of dealing with all the effects of giving it away, empowering the team, say, hey, you take this, you're going, and let's go back to the sales thing, right? You're going to take our best client, and then they just took it off the edge. Speak to them.
Yeah, I wish I did have a quote to make it simple.
Dang it.
I'm going to let you down on that quote.
All right.
However, I don't think that what you're suggesting is that it's that you just change all of a sudden and you go from 0 to 100. You've never done it. Right. Now you're doing it all the time. I don't think that's what you're suggesting.
No.
I think you have to sample.
Yeah.
Right? I think you have to do a slow timed release. I think there's some equipping. You're bringing people into a conversation, and you are developing a person or a team, and you're walking with them. So for me, it something that I guess I would use as close to a quote as I can get for you is, you start with hands on, and in a business you're hands on,
right?
And then whether it's with a few people or a few more people, but then you get to your fingertips. It's your fingertips. You're not hands on, but it's your fingertips. You're still a part of it, right?
Yeah.
And then, as that trust is building and you're proving your process, it's fingerprints.
Yeah.
You went from hands-on to fingertips to fingerprints.
Yeah, I love that.
And now it's up to them to multiply what you've set in motion.
Well, and one of the models that we help with companies is prep, mentor, release, support. Prep, mentor, release, support. And oftentimes we see one of those steps completely just disengaged. They just ignore it, or it's completely there's a gap there, because the prep piece is you have to have time where there's overlap of where you're showing them the reason why it's so important. Go back to the sales analogy, the scenario. Like, why is it so important? Yes, it's our top client, but why is it so important that this handoff is important, that it's successful? Well, it's important because literally as we hand off, they have attached me as the company. They've attached me, they've identified me as that's what makes this company great. And that's not to shine light on what I do, but that is to say that they have attached themselves to me. Now we're going to slowly unattach me from them and slowly attach you to them. What does that mean? It means that handoff better be so great that they just smoothly start to trust you as much as they trusted me.
Right.
And that's the prep piece. Like you're giving some reason for the mentoring piece is I'm gonna be there with you. I'm not just throwing this on your lap. I'm trying to think of the movies. For some reason a movie scene came in, right? It's like they just come in and throw all the binders out on their desk and they're like, it's all yours, man. And take it over. It's like, it's not that. You got to sit next to them. This is where you're talking about fingertips now. And then all of a sudden there's a release. Now it's your fingerprints. Hey, we've been at the meetings together. I've helped you through on the behind the scenes stuff. Now we've had a transition. Now it's your turn. Now
Right.
you try it. Now you do it. And then the support piece is you better be checking in because you know it's that important.
Yeah.
This is one of our top clients. I'm going to check in every so often. Maybe it's once a week. Maybe it's every other week. And we're going to make sure that I'm going to ask questions that are hard for you to answer. It makes it seem like I don't trust you, but it's because I trust you so much that I want you to have this handoff to be so successful. I'm going to ask the hard questions. That's the support,
Right.
right? And to be there.
I think one of the things that we talk about often is if we would treat our staff, our team, like we treat our customer,
Yeah.
things just improve.
Yeah.
You are trying so hard to understand what makes your customer tick, how they're wired, what's their values, what are their filters, where are they trying to go, how do your needs help supply their, meet the needs of their problems and all those things. If we would treat our team the same way, because really they are our internal customer.
Yeah.
And if we would treat them the way that we would treat our external customer, you don't just drop your product. You don't go into your customer, drop your product, and go, there, figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, why would you do that to your team?
Oh, man. Okay, short story. So I set this meeting up with, this is a while back when I was running a team within an organization, but I set this meeting up, has all these directors a part of it. They all show up, and the first question they had was, why are we here? And I thought, well, there was a title. Did you guys read the subject area? It had all the bullets that we're going to go over. And it was just like this aha moment. I would never do this with a client or a customer.
Yeah,
I would
great
have had a
example.
prep email. I would have called them maybe just to make sure that we were all on the same page. You do these double tap communications with your customers, but as soon as it's on your team, you're just like, oh man, that takes too much effort. That takes too much time, right? Yeah, really good. So maybe to recap some of this, fearing the loss of control is where this all started with this CEO writing that his biggest regret was just holding on too tight, fear of loss. And I think we went through a lot of points, but I want to hit back on one that you talked about, which is you can find more freedom in actually giving up your fill in the blank and in trusting and empowering your team.
Yeah. One of the things that I love that we get to do with people together is sometimes it comes out like, there's fear of loss, there's fear of risk, there's these other types of fears. Oftentimes, though, I wonder if there are leaders, and maybe you're one of them, you actually have a fear of success. I'm really good at managing or leading at this level. I'm really good at managing at this income level or this size of team, and I don't know what I'll do if it gets beyond me. I'm afraid, imposter syndrome, things like that.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's really
so
good.
there's some real good growth opportunities that we can help strengthen and build that foundation to grow the capacity and the competency to lead at a higher level.
Yeah. Don't fear the unknown, right?
Yeah.
Like that is the unknown, letting go of something. It's the unknown. I remember just not too long ago, actually, like years ago, but we were talking about succession planning. And you talk about letting go, right? We're talking at the highest level, letting go. And his question to me was, what will I do? If everyone on my team is taking these bits and pieces of my job, what will I do?
Oh, great clarity.
And I just go back to this right here at the very end. My biggest regret is not letting go sooner. Because now I look back and see how much we lost due to my actions. Let it go. Let it go, but do it in a way to where you're not just throwing it and irresponsibly letting go.
Right.
Do it in a responsible way.
Yeah. Slow investments, slow investments in your people. Let them walk alongside you. You walk alongside them.
Yeah.
Slow, timed release, process improvement over time. Get you to your better days.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Goals never die, souls gotta fly high. I'm taking off to the sky, and with every day that goes by, I'm making sure that it counts. It don't matter what's the amount, you only get now.